The book of Lamentations, chapter 1, verse 1. Lamentations, chapter 1, verse 1. Lamentations, first chapter, verse. Jerusalem cried for her destruction. Jerusalem was full of people, but now the city is so empty. She was one of the greatest cities in the world, but now she's like a poor widow. She was once a princess among cities, but now she's been made a slave. She cries bitterly in the night. Her tears are on her cheeks. She has no one to comfort her. Many nations were friendly to her, but not one of them comforts her now. All turned their backs on her and have become her enemies. Judah suffered very much, and then she was taken into captivity. She lives among other nations, but as people who chased her caught her where there was no way out. The roads to Zion are very bad because no one comes to Zion for the festivals anymore. All Zion's gates have been destroyed. All her priests groan in sorrow. Zion's young women have been taken away, and all this may on her have been successful. This happened because the Lord punished her. He punished Jerusalem for her many sins. Her children have gone away. Their enemies captured them and took them away. The beauty of daughter Zion has away. Her princes were like deer that cannot find a meadow to feed in. They walk away without strength from those who chase them. Jerusalem thinks back. She remembers a time when she was hurt and when she lost her home. She remembers nice things in the past. She remembers those nice things she had in the old days. She remembers when her people were captured by the enemy. She remembers when there was no one to help her. Because she was ruined very badly because Jerusalem sinned. She became a ruined city that people shake their heads about. In the past, people respected her, but now they hate her because they abused her. Jerusalem groaned, turned away. Dirty. What false, amazing. She had no one to comfort her. She said, "See how hurt I am, how I am hurt. See how my enemies." The enemy stretched out his hand. He took all her nice things. In fact, she saw the foreign nation inside her temple, and you said those people could not. Jerusalem, all over looking food. They're giving away these things for food to stay alive. Jerusalem says, "Look, Lord, look at me. See how people hate me. All who pass by on the road, you don't seem to care. But look at me and see, is there any my pain? Is there any pain like the pain that has come to me? Is there any pain like the pain that the Lord has punished me with? He has punished me on the day of his great anger. The Lord sent fire from above that went down into my bones. He stretched out a net for my feet. He turned me all the way around. He made me into a wasteland. I'm sick all day. My sins were tied up like a yoke. My sins were tied up in the Lord's hands. His yoke is on me, is given to those who I cannot stand up against. I rejected all my powerful men who were inside the city. And he brought a group of people against me. He brought them to kill my young soldiers. The Lord has trampled his dearest city like grapes in a winepress. I cry about all these things. Tears are flowing down my cheeks. There's no one to comfort me, no one who can make me better. My children are like a wasteland because the enemy won. Zion spreads out her hands. There was no one to comfort her. The Lord had given orders to Jacob's enemies. He ordered them to surround the city. Jerusalem has become a dirty rag that her enemies threw away. Now Jerusalem, the Lord, he is right. Look at my pain. Women and men have gone into captivity. I called out to my lovers, but they tricked my priests, and my elders have died in the city. They were looking for food for themselves. They wanted to keep themselves alive. Look at me, Lord. I'm in distress. I'm upset, as if my heart turned upside down inside of me. I feel this way because I've been so stubborn. Out in the streets, I lost my children to the swords. Inside, it is like death. Listen to me. I'm groaning. I have no one to comfort me. All my enemies have heard of trouble. You said would be a punishment. You said you would punish my enemies. Now do what you said. Let my enemies be like I am now. Look how evil my enemies are. Then you can treat them the same way you treated me because of all my sins. Do this because I'm groaning again and again. Do this because my heart is sick. Lamentations chapter 2, the Lord destroyed Jerusalem. Look how the Lord has covered daughter Zion with the cloud of his anger. He has thrown her, the glory of Israel, from the sky to the ground. In his anger, he showed no care even for the temple where he rests his feet, destroyed that without mercy. In his anger, he did the fortresses of daughter Judah. He threw the kingdom of Judah and its rulers to the ground. He ruined the kingdom of Judah. He was angry and he destroyed all the strength of Israel. He took away his right hand from Israel. He did this when the enemy came. He burned like flame fire in Jacob. He was like a fire that burns all around. He bent his bow like an enemy. He held his sword in his right hand. He killed all the good-looking men of Judah. He killed them as if they were the enemy. He poured out his anger like a fire on the tents of Zion. The Lord has become of Israel. He's got palaces and altars. He has made much sadness and crying for the dead in daughter Judah. He pulled up his own tent as if it were a garden. He's ruined the place where the people came together to worship him. The Lord has made people perfect, the special assemblies and special days of Zion. He rejected the king and the priest. He was angry and rejected them. He rejected his altar, and he left his holy place of worship. He let the enemy pull down the walls of the palaces of Jerusalem. The enemy shouted with joy in the Lord's temple. They made noise as though it were a festival. The Lord planned to destroy the wall of daughter Zion. He marked the wall with the measuring line. He did stop it. The walls cry out in sadness. Together they wasted away. Jerusalem's gates have sunk into the ground. The bars on her gates are completely destroyed. Her king and prince have taken other nations to teach them the law. Stop. So visions from the Lord. The elders of Zion sit on the ground. They sit on the ground and they're quiet. They pour dust on their heads. They put on sackcloth. The young women of Jerusalem bow their heads to the ground in sorrow. My eyes are with tears, inside upset. My heart feels like it has been poured on the ground. I feel this way because of the destruction of my people. Children in Basington and the public, where is the bread and the wine as they pour out their life in mothers' laps? My dear children, what can I say about you? What can I compare you to? What can I say you are lying? How can I comfort you to lie? You've been hurt much too badly for anyone to hear. You, but their visions are only worthless lies. They didn't speak of their sins. They didn't try to make them, but they were false messages that fooled you. Those who pass by on the road clap their hands and laugh at you. They make fun of Jerusalem, shaking their heads at the side of their ass. Is this the city people? Your enemies look at you. They're whistling. They say, "We saw them up. We finally seen this happen." The Lord did what he planned to do. He did what he said he would do. He did what he commanded a long time ago. He destroyed and had no pity. He made your enemies happy because of what happened to you. He made your enemies strong. To the Lord, let tears roll down your walls. Let your tears fall like a spring night. Don't stop crying. Don't let your eyes dry. Get up and cry for help. Out mercy. You invited terror to come to me from all around. You invited terrorists. We were invited to a festival. No one escaped on the day of the Lord's anger. My enemy, the people who I raised and brought up. Lamentations chapter 3. I said Lamentations. Okay, we'll be like this. Let's see. It's just a second. Let's move on. Lamentations chapter 3 coming up here in just a second. We'll wait for it. There we go. It's moving slow, but it's moving. All right. Lamentations chapter 3, the meaning of suffering. I'm a man who has seen much trouble. God beat us with a stick, and I saw it happen. He led and brought me into darkness, not light. He turned his hand against me. He did this again and again all day. He wore out my flesh and skin. He broke my bones. He built up bitterness and trouble against me. He surrounded me with bitterness and trouble. He put me in the dark like someone who died long ago. He shut me in so I couldn't get out. He put heavy chains on me. Even when I cry out and ask for help, he doesn't listen to my prayer. He's blocked my path with about to attack like a lion that is in a hiding place. He led me off my path. He tore me to pieces and ruined me. He made his bow ready. He made me the target of his arrows. He shot me in the stomach with his arrows. I've become a joke to all my people. All day long, they sing songs about me and make fun of me. He gave me this poison to drink. He filled me with this bitter drink. He pushed my teeth into rocky ground. He pushed me into the dirt. I thought I would never have peace again. I forgot about good things. I said to myself, I no longer have any hope that the Lord will help me. Remember, I'm very sad and I have no home. Remember the bitter poison that you gave me. Well, but then I think about this and I have hope. We're still alive because the Lord's faithful love never ends. Every morning he shows it in new ways. You are so very true and loyal. I say to myself, the Lord is my God, and I trust him. The Lord is good to those who wait for him. He's good to those who look for him. It's good to wait quietly for the Lord to see them. It's good for a man to wear his yoke from the time he is young. He should sit alone and be quiet. When the Lord puts his yoke on him, he should bow down to the Lord. Maybe there is still hope. He should turn his cheek to the one who hits him and let people insult him. He should remember that the Lord does not reject people for everyone he punishes. He does love and kindness. He does not enjoy causing people pain. He does not like to make anyone unhappy. He doesn't like any person on earth to be trampled down. He doesn't like anyone to be unfair to another person. Some people will do such things right in front of God Most High. The Lord does not like anyone to cheat another person. He doesn't like any of these things. No one can say something to make it happen unless the Lord orders it. God Most High commands both good and bad things to happen. No one alive can complain when it punishes for their sins. Let us check and see what we've done then the Lord. Answer the God of heaven. Let us say to him, we have sinned and have been stubborn. Because of this, you have not forgiven us. You wrap yourself with anger. You chased us. You killed us without mercy. You wrap yourself in a cloud. So there's no prayer. You made us like garbage and dirt to all the other nations. All of our enemies speak angrily against us. We've been frightened. We've fallen into a pit. We've been badly hurt. We've been broken. My eyes flow with streams of tears. I cry because of the destruction of my people. My eyes will flow without stopping. I'll keep on crying. I'll continue to cry until you look down. See us. Continue to cry until you see. It make me sad when I see what happened to the young women in my city. For some reason, my enemies hunted me like a bird. They threw me alive into a pit and threw stones at me. Water came up over my head. I said to myself, I'm finished. Lord, I call your name from the bottom of the pit. You heard my voice. You didn't close your ears. You didn't refuse to rescue me. You came to me on that day that I called out to you. You said to me, don't be afraid. You defended me and brought me back to life. Lord, you've seen my trouble. Now judge my case for me. You've seen how my enemies hurt me. You've seen all the evil plans they did against me. You heard them and all evil against me. The words and thoughts of my enemies are against me all the time. When they sit down and when they stand up, look how they make fun of me. Give them back what they deserve, Lord. Pay them back for what they've done. Make them stubborn and then curse them. Chase them in anger and destroy them. Wipe them off the face of the earth, Lord. My Jesus alive. All right, this is the word of the Lord. Follow, like, share, and subscribe. Encourage others to join in with us as we read through the Bible. Hit that arrow at the bottom of the screen so that others can join in with us. We read on a daily basis.